Most people say, like, I know I was told in my first pro tour, you're gonna get smashed.
Right.
And most people are like, wow, that's really good, like, because I bubbled out for day 2. But this Josh Cho, first pro tour, yeah, I'll just top 4. That's if you guys don't mind.
Yep. I mean, there are a couple people there have their first pro tour. Like, wow, like Randy Bueller, first pro tour champion.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe Jan Moritz Merkel.
Yeah.
Won his first pro tour and never had another good finish again.
My first pro tour was the same one with Bueller. I did not day 2.
Yeah, I mean, I did not. Mine was the Cabal Therapy Pro Tour. It was Houston extended in 2002.
That was a good one. At that pro tour, that was my first pro tour, I met Mike Long for the first time. And he walked up to me and I was talking with somebody. And Mike just took a donut from my box of donuts. He didn't know me. He just took a donut.
Stand-up guy.
I think that's Mike Long right there.
I think he's done worse things.
Yeah, he takes your donut. And he doesn't ask. Okay, Josh Cho, I am going to say, since I am not a reporter, I'm a commentator, I don't have to be unbiased. I like Josh.
That's nice.
I like Josh. I want Josh to win, even though
you
Randy is really cool.
Well, I'm obviously rooting for Randy then. You have to convince me. Josh is a cool dude.
No, absolutely.
And I've never met Randy in my life. I still want Randy to win.
Well, I mean, Randy's deck is by far decidedly cooler.
Yeah.
And I am also willing to bet that if Randy has been doing any playtesting at all, that he has more playtesting with this matchup than Josh does.
Safe to say. So have you seen the greatest sleeves in all of Magic yet?
Nope.
All right.
What is that? Oh my god!
The actual Infect thing. That's big game. You're just like, hey bro, I'm playing Infect.
No, he's like,
what's up? So we got a Gitaxian Pro from
forests?
Josh.
Different forests.
Oh yeah, oh man. I thought we were gonna be bros, Randy. That's not cool. All right, so we got a Titanic Growth, 2 Ichor Claw Mirrors, a Ranger's Guile, a Glistener Elf, and 2 Forest. However, they're both, to be fair, not everybody can get the same picture of Zendikar full art. That's why I love Unhinged, because there's not different art. If you ask for a Zendikar full art forest, you could get 2 different things.
This is true.
If you ask for an unhinged forest, you get 1 thing.
So the thing about a deck like Mono Green Infect, the ability of it to kill out of seemingly nowhere is insane. I mean, everything is berserking in essence.
This one, it's going to take a little more setup. There aren't other than Titanic Growth, the pump spells aren't individually huge. Randy's actually reliant on both Live Wire Lash and Wild Defiance.
Glistener.
Yeah, Glistener.
Rotwolf. Wow.
Ruben said after the match, after thinking about it, he wants more Blight Mambas because he doesn't want something that costs the same as Wild Defiance.
Right.
Obviously, and Randy seemed to play fine. Obviously, don't know him personally, but he played well on the camera last round. It seems like he knows what he's doing. And also, his build seems like he knows what he's doing. He has ability to tweak certain, he has the 4th Apostle's Blessing and the 3rd Ranger's guy.
I mean, his non-4s don't seem to me to be irrational. You know, it seems like there are reasons for them.
And a lot of them, what I like doing is he can bump them up to 4.
Yeah. We get a flip. The best flip for a natural flip, it's a Mana Leak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that right there is such a painful thing to play against.
Yeah.
The Delver on turn 2 flipping into a natural Mana Leak. Turn 3, I should say. Pardon me, he leaked earlier on the Ichor Claw mirror. Okay, what do we got? It's got 1 poison maker, but hasn't had a chance to get that poison in there. Here it comes. Delver. Nope, takes 1 poison. Ichor Claw mirror.
I can see this one getting Mana Leaked as well. Yeah.
There's a Mana Leak. Vapor Snag.
Try a Vapor Snag. All right. I mean, this is basically what this is what Delver needs to do in any matchup, but it's especially important in this one keep the board relatively clear, get some easy to deploy threats. I mean, that's why Delver's so strong. It's very easy. Like
There we
Geist
go.
Trapped, yeah, like
Look at that. I mean,
this
that's
seems pretty
that's
over.
9 damage.
Yeah. 2-turn clock, impossible to block.
Looking at the cards that Randy has in his deck, there really, I don't think, is anything that he can do at this point.
He could play like, if he goes like Glistener Elf, Active Defiance.
He can survive.
He's in it.
And then if he doesn't lose the Glistener Elf to a Vapor Snag,
Or yeah, like
then,
one more spell from Josh
yeah.
ends the game under anything.
when he says go, that should
But
that's
no,
it.
yeah, that should be it. Like double Titanic Growth. He has 1. So double Titanic could do it, but like if Josh has a magic card.
One of many, many, many magic cards.
Yeah. One play Randy does have is like maybe a defensive Titanic Growthing. Give him a couple extra turns if he has like actual nothing, but I still don't like that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Josh is going to take down.
Let's see. A Restoration Angel, a Snapcaster Mage,
the
a Vapor
dreaded
Snag,
4 mana. Here it
a
is.
Gut Shot, a Dismember.
Why don't you just read off his list for
Mana
things
Leak.
that can,
you know.
yeah.
Nice there. He doesn't need very much damage to win, so getting an unblockable or untargetable to take the hit. Well, or just that way, that was fine too. It's going to take a lot of work to get over the top of that.
Too much work, in
Yeah.
fact. It would need to be Titanic, Mutagenic, Unnatural Predation, and that would be 11, 12. Yeah, that would do it. So only 4 perfect pump spells
Right.
would get us there.
The perfect. I mean, it could be that he has 3 Galvanic Blasts. You never know.
Yeah.
And then everyone can say at home, Josh Cho, oh my God.
Just so
unlucky.
Should have
Or
blocked
so-
with more.
And we go to game 2 really quickly.
Yeah.
Is this No, this is not undefeated. This is X1.
This is This is maybe a win and in, maybe not, depending on
Pretty
how
close.
how tiebreakers work.
Yeah.
For each player.
From the sideboard, Josh Cho. Good God.
The Divine Offering.
Divine Offering for
The end.
for the equipment. I actually
Also
don't
the
mind
Inkmoth
Ratchet
Nexus.
Bomb, actually.
Inkmoth Nexus.
Ratchet Bomb, because he's got a lot of 1s and 2s, it comes into play actually fairly quickly, and he doesn't have to use mana to get rid of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to like everything else in his deck except for maybe a Sword of Feast and Famine would be the card that I would want to cut. But I'd maybe Ghost Quarter for Inkmoth Nexus. Just play an extra land.
I actually also don't mind a Phyrexian Metamorph. It's not great, but the 2 life is meaningless, and just putting down an infect creature into
To block,
play.
yeah.
I mean, that token or that -1/-1 counter stays on the other creature, and then it'll die on the next turn.
Yeah.
So,
With Randy, he said he has a bunch of ways to tweak his sideboard. I would imagine to see Apostle's Blessing, Ranger's Guile, and Mental Missteps.
you know, it's interesting because I like the Mental Missteps, but I also like Spellskite. I mean, one of the things about the matchup against Delver, you don't want an inopportune Vapor Snag to put all of your eggy eggs into a sad frowny space. But if you've got a Spellskite on the table, you can actually go all in, and they can't really do anything about it.
Safely. That's part of why I like Mental Misstep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, like that being said, he has a lot of ways to get a Delver off the table between Mental Misstep and Gut Shot, and a lot of ways to protect his guys from Vapor Snag, and that's pretty much the crux of his deck. Not sure what I would imagine a Blight Mamba for Rotwolf slot, like Blight Mamba being cheaper, AK better. But other than that, I don't see like. Yeah, I don't see like a ton of I don't see Unnatural Predation, you know, maybe not Titanic Growth. There might be stuff that you just have to like keep a guy in play, keep a Livewire Lash, and get him that way. Looks like they're Shuffling up for game 2. I'm very impressed to see a poison deck.
Right?
I mean,
Be this far in? This is
yeah.
very deep. And I mean, imagine you're Josh Cho and you come out of your, Pro Tour top 4. You come here and you're like, oh man, I just got to fight out this last round and then win it in. And you're against Poison. And you know this guy's been duking it out against the top of the field. So he's not a joke.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing if you're round 1 and you see the Poison player. But when you're this deep in and he's in contention.
Yeah. Poison is definitely one of those strategies that it takes some guts to play. Because there are going to be games where you sit there and do nothing. And if like certain draws don't work out, like I always said, like one of the scariest things to play against this is Legacy, is a competent player with Dredge.
It can be over on turn 1.
Yeah, nobody wanted to play against David Thomas for the longest time. People still don't want to play against David Thomas, but like with these decks or whatever, if you get a good pilot, they're just draws that like run you over.
Yeah, I mean, I got knocked out of the Grand Prix. Pardon me. I got my first loss in the Grand Prix in Minneapolis from a mono black Poison, and it's just one of those things where you're like, I didn't actually test against this deck at all for this, and I'm a big fan of doing a lot of prep, but that's the advantage of playing a rogue deck, right? Is that you will be more prepared for your opponents than they will be for you.
Absolutely.
Which I think is actually a bigger deal in Legacy, just because of the nature of how Legacy works. But also, it's impossible to prepare really for everything. Listener Elf, best opening.
Yep, best possible opening. And probably like a big predictor of what kind of game you're going to play. I feel like there's different games between, just like in Delver, this is the Delver of the Infect deck.
Right.
You can win without it, but like it's much easier to play one on turn 1.
What do you think about not having a card like Ataxian Probe in Randy's deck?
I mean, he's clearly gone for like pump spells and protection spells.
Right.
And there's only so much Phyrexian mana you can actually afford.
That's fair.
There are definitely times where I would love to have a Gitaxian Probe. Getting in for a second Infect, it would appear.
He's like, does a Snapcaster come down?
Or he's maybe thinking about bringing his Nexus along with it.
Yeah, that's fair. Take 1 poison. Is that Defiance?
That card is wild.
Yep.
It is wild Defiance. If you weren't here for last round, whenever an instant or sorcery targets a creature you control, that creature gets +3/+3.
Vapor Snag. It gets bigger.
4/4 and in your hand. So Wild Defiance is by far the scariest card for Josh to play against. There's so much. Like you just almost can't like mid-combat Vapor Snag stuff, else you might die.
Just like target it.
Oh,
Let
really?
the trigger resolve. Okay.
A Ranger's Guile?
Ranger's Guile.
And you're dead. Or Apostle's Blessing.
End of your turnitis is one of the things that far too many players have. And a deck like this can punish you. Oh my gosh.
Geez.
Double Defiance. Gut Shot now suddenly looking pretty silly.
Gut Shot from Randy Davis is a big pump spell. Yeah, I mean, if you're Josh, what do you do here? Like,
I mean,
you can't keep like, ooh, Timely. That's interesting. I mean, obviously the life is irrelevant.
yeah, but the bodies are real.
I'm not sure I agree with that choice like 100%, but
I understand the idea.
yeah, I see where the concept's coming from.
Delver.
Actually fairly important. Like it's going to trade with a spell from Randy Davis's hand.
Yep.
It's certainly not going to trade his Glistener Elf for the Delver.
God, those ink moth just look so scary right now. And here
That's
they
because
come.
They are scary.
Yep. Jeez, here they come. And just remember, any targeting of Randy's things is +6/+6 to them.
If Randy only has one spell, I think he should just not cast it.
I agree.
And just put him on 4.
Mutagenic.
Yeah, casual. How many times in your life have you cast a free Might Evokes?
That is +8.
Yeah, +8/+8.
Better than Might. Josh is dead unless he has
Snapcaster.
For Vapor
He
Snap.
could very well
and
still
he might
be
still
dead.
be dead. Is
Yep.
still dead.
We're going to light.
8.
Now you can understand why this deck took
Wow.
took 10 minutes last
Wow.
match. That was, yeah.
That was 20 poison that he delivered that turn.
Yeah, technically speaking, yeah.
That's impressive.
You could even play with this Wild Defiance with like normal cards. I have a story from earlier today that I never got the chance to tell. It involved Star City writer Brad Nelson.
I know that guy.
Yeah. He was playing, it was in his round 2 feature match. We were a little late to start it, so we didn't get to see the first match. But anyway, Brad Gitaxian probes his opponent, sees that his opponent's playing Grand Architect, and then Brad like gives the guy a high five. Like, you know, the guy's like, sweet, you know, I got a high five from Brad Nelson for playing this. And at the end of the match, like, the guy didn't have, like, you know, the greatest of draws. He's like, man, I wish you could have seen what my deck would do. Brad's like, I have a pretty good idea.
I wish you could have seen. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And he was like, no, I don't think you know how my deck works.
No,
like,
I don't think you know how my... That is really funny.
Where'd you get your deck? The internet.
That's funny. I mean, that kind of reminds me at one of the Star City Games events, and I mentioned this ever so slightly before, Jacob Van Lunen, and I want to say that it was Gavin Verhey sitting in the booth being like, oh, this guy's a ringer. He's such a good player. He's, you know, gotten 2nd place at a Star City Games Open and 4th place at another Open. And his opponent is Kyle Rose, whoever that is. They didn't say whoever that is.
Yeah.
But they just say, and his opponent is Kyle
Kyle
Rose.
Rose.
And I'm like, that's Kyle Rose. U.S. National Champion, Pro Tour Champion Kyle Rose.
To be fair, you know, if you haven't had a big tournament finish in, like, you know, say 7 years.
I understand.
Yeah, but still, that's awesome.
It's just really funny. Like, oh, I hope that this newcomer, Kyle Rose, has got what it takes. I mean, Kyle Rose, more than any other player that's regularly been on the Pro Tour at the past, has my number. I mean, he just beats me. Like, it doesn't matter. I'll have, like, a great draft deck, he'll beat me. I'll have, like, a great matchup, he'll beat me. He'll beat me, he'll beat me, he'll beat me. And then he'll say to somebody, you know, this is the classic Kyle Rose, saying to William Jensen, Baby Huey, being like, I did it again, Huey. I forgot to attack. And I'm like, no, Kyle Rose got back into Magic partly because of watching things like this, and he's not playing with the same gusto he did way back.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you get a little taste of this game, you step aside and take a break.
Nobody ever quits.
You see it, you play it, like, it just is like back in the blood. Back in the blood. I actually heard a rumor from Bob Maher, one of Bob Maher's employees, that Maher has started playing a little bit in the break room.
Oh.
Now, Maher, on the other hand, has 4 kids or 3 kids,
Yeah,
so it's a little harder.
You probably won't see him grinding.
Right. There's a Gitaxian probe. We see live wire lash for the first time this match. Ickerclaw. That's it, a wolf right up there at the top?
Rotwolf.
That is a Rotwolf, okay.
Well,
and then
you don't
Wild
have your poison
Defiance.
picture, your infect card pictures down.
I do not. Oh, look at this, the slow pan over the cards.
Unnatural predation.
That's +1/+1 trample?
Yep.
There we go.
I hypothesize that he might take it out of his deck for some more protection cards.
It's greedier. It's a greedier card, but I mean, also, It can just
I mean,
be win.
it won him the game in his last match, and I think it was fantastic there. And
Yeah.
he like won like 12 in that sort of matchup. But
Live Wire Lash is so unfair in a poison deck.
that might actually have been another card because it's kind of bad against like the removal spells.
Unless you get it on your creature.
Yeah, once you land it, it's, you know.
Right. But that's like once you win the lottery, you know, money's no problem.
Yeah.
What's that? Putting the cart before the horse. Joshua Cho
Pondering. Classy pondering.
While we were in here, while you were gone, I mean,
Yeah, well,
Brad Nelson was definitely dissing on both of our ponders. He's a fish ponder all the way.
Man.
He.
Yeah.
Okay, so Josh Cho here on the left. For those of you who are just joining us, this is round 9 of 10 of the Star City Games Open Series here live in Nashville. I'm Adrian Sullivan, joined in the booth with Adam Prozac. On the left, Joshua Cho coming off of a top 4 at the Pro Tour versus Randy Davis, getting a lot of attention this weekend so far with his mono green Infect deck.
And
a deck,
awesome sleeves.
Yeah, a deck that I think people have really talked about in excited tones in the past, but haven't ever really found any kind of way into the spotlight other than in the beginning rounds of a tournament.
Yeah.
But here he is, right at the very end. If he wins this, he can draw into the top 8.
Maybe, but like he's a very good position.
Very good position. Maybe. There are a lot of people that are fighting this out. 419 people in this tournament.
All right, so we just have pass, so he did not draw the Miser's Glistener Elf. I have any idea. Like, I don't know if I like just notice it a lot or if I just like run amazing. But I keep like reasonable hands without a Delver on the draw and play a turn 1 Delver.
Yeah, there it is.
Like,
Snappy, probe, draw. This card drawing engine, the Phyrexian mana for Josh is just a total free roll against poison.
You cannot cast 10 Phyrexian Mana's worth of cards. He's got 8. He's got 7 left that he cast.
He could do it.
Yeah, he's got Dismembers.
He's got Dismembers. Turn 2, we're probably going to see. This is actually an interesting question. Do you lay the equipment or the man?
I don't know if he has a. Did he have an Ichor mirror? Okay.
Yeah, he had.
I would lay the creature 100% of the time. The creature will attack for 1.
Right.
Whereas like the equipment is something you're going to have to.
It's going to be a long investment before it pays off.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do something that gives an immediate return.
Third land for Joshua Cho. Josh Cho, not probably expecting this matchup, but Delver can fight anything.
Yeah, it does everything. Depending on what you want it to do, it does everything.
What?
Whereas like Randy just has a thing where like, if my opponent does X, I'm dead. If my opponent does Y, I'm dead. You know, but then he just gets to ignore 80% of the cards.
Yeah.
And can't beat 20% of them. Whereas Josh cares about 100% of the cards, but can beat all of them. It's a very interesting like dichotomy. Like, what end of the scale do you want? Do you want to have to play against all your cards, or do you want to just be able to?
I like this play from Josh, just sitting. I like that a lot.
Are you gonna block when he attacks?
Probably.
Okay. I mean, it's just like the mirror becomes a 3/3, and you just like save 1 poison.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that if Josh, I don't know if he has any mana leaks. Did you see any?
I did not see any.
I mean, like, it could just be death otherwise. Mm-hmm. You know, like Live Wire Lash. If that resolves, then we know that Josh probably doesn't have any, or he's got a Divine Offering. Responds, Thought Scour. And I guess that's end of turn Thought Scour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Response Thought Scour in case a leak shows up.
I would have attacked, right?
Oh, Randy Davis? Yeah, if I was Randy, I would attack. That triggered ability for the Ichor Claw is real.
Oh, absolutely.
And there we see Geist of St. Traft. 1 mana open. If Randy gets a 3rd land into play, that's... Oh, maybe not. What do we got? Show us something here, Randy.
He needs a third land, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And he has a Titanic Growth, I believe.
There it
a third,
is.
yeah.
That's a scary
so
third
now he
land.
needs Apostle's Blessing or a Ranger's Guile.
Yeah.
Something we have not seen from him.
I mean,
Would you, if you did not have, if you have an Apostle's Blessing or a Ranger's Guile, you clearly equip here?
Yeah.
If you did not, would you equip?
Well, I mean, if he has no other creatures,
He has a Rotwolf.
He has a Rotwolf, then I wouldn't. I would just swing in and lay the wolf.
Okay. I mean, that still gets Vapor Snag and his turn still gets on, and the only difference is you get the extra mirror in play, so that's a real thing. And obviously, if you have like a protection spell, or even a mental misstep.
Yeah, a misstep, Apostle's Blessing, a Ranger's Guile, that would be equipped all the way.
Yeah.
And just really it would be very scary for Josh. Here it is, equip. Wait, response? There's the snag. Now here's the moment of truth. What does Randy have? If anything. Nothing.
Man,
He's already laid a land.
Brutal. Yeah. I mean, that was probably the match right there.
And now this is going to be at least 8 damage coming in. There's a sword, maybe more. No sword.
No.
Take 8. Go to 9. That's a Snapcaster away from attacking for the kill.
Or Restoration Angel's unbeatable here too. Restoration, we might.
Oh, Inky. Inky is a good card right now.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine Josh doesn't take this one. The turn loss there was just too big. All right, looks like Randy mulling his options over. None of them, probably none of them good.
Given that he had nothing to protect his card, all the Eggy-Wegs there is a weird play to me. Whoa, look at that. Snapcaster. Ichor Mirror.
I mean, this could, like, the absurdity that is Restoration Angel, Blink my Snapcaster Mage might happen here.
I think it is.
Yeah, that is a really...
Oh, Doctor.
Yeah, that play is just like...
Oh, boy. Oh. I'm not sure what's happening here that's being discussed.
I feel like Randy wants to concede this game, but Josh doesn't want to reveal that.
Okay, we're going back. I think Randy's like, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you get to go, what you can declare that would make that a reasonable go-backs. I mean, because I'm sure that Josh wasn't just like randomly during main phase 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
There's a miscommunication. Yeah. Randy asked if it was your. Josh heard it's your turn, but Randy just asked if his Ichor Mirror was good.
Right. Sorry.
But regardless, I do not see a way that Randy gets out of this predicament he's in. And just like, yeah, play a couple creatures.
What's the other play?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm not sure what you're gonna do, Randy.
Yeah.
And there we have the play we were expecting. Into the Vapor Snag to bounce the Ichor Mirror, and now you have to block or you die. And then that means you've got no blocker or no. Yeah, I mean,
just to block the Angel. And fall to 1.
And it's not like the... Oh, another Snapcaster for value. Ponder.
I'm still not sure what
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
what additional cards. Maybe he just wants to actually close the game because he doesn't have access to the list. But yeah, Randy's drawing dead.
I mean, if Joshua Cho suddenly goes crazy, enters a mad rampage and punches the judge, that's all we got. I mean,
not likely.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, not one likely to go crazy with rage. Okay, another land. The team attacks. He gets an angel, so he does not miss his trigger. Actually, that was a way he could have won, is if Josh Cho doesn't trigger it.
Whoops, I forgot. Fog.
Throw this out there. Block the token. Take 7, go to 1.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? I mean, you're still in the same position, except for now you've got nothing on the table.
The dream ends now.
And the hand?
Hopefully, yeah.
There we go. Josh Cho, after a scary game 2, comes back for the final game 3 and handily.
Yeah,
I think,
that was.
Yeah, the game.